Hello, YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Rich, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. So the time is approximately 11:03 p.m. or 11 p.m. and 3 minutes. And the date is Monday, April 30th, 2018. Tonight is the night. I'm not showing you the pretty images. Tonight is the night after the full moon in Scorpio, sign of transformation, and it is the night after the full moon in Scorpio, sign of transformation, and the night before Beltaine. Beltaine is a fertility festival. It is one of the fire festivals of the art and craft of the wise, or witchcraft, if you will. And it is a fertility festival, which is one of the reasons why the following phrase is very popular during Beltaine. Pole in the hole. Did you hear what I said, YouTube? Pole in the hole. There's even a chant. Pole in the hole! Pole in the hole! I kid you not. Anyway, so I was very pleased to see how well received my What's Been on My Mind lately videos have been. So that's definitely going to continue. My awesome audiovisual person is making a little bit too much noise and it's distracting me. So I'm going to tell him to stop doing that. Thank you very much. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. You know, it's so funny. For the longest time, I used to always wonder why I wore blue and gray together. I'm certainly no Civil War buff. I've met people who are. But eventually I realized blue and gray are lunar colors, and they work well together, and they work well on me together, or rather they work well together on me. And and of course Monday in magical traditions is the day of the moon, so it's quite natural for me to wear lunar colors almost every day, in fact. I still remember the first time my psychic guides had accompanied me when I was going clothing shopping, and I was looking at this beautiful navy blue shirt, and they were like, Robert, please, even you can pick another color. Seriously, they actually were like, you can buy something else besides navy blue. By the way, at the time I had about 4 or 5 other navy blue shirts, so it wasn't like I desperately needed a navy blue shirt, okay? But I actually wanted to talk about something that I've been long overdue to talk about, and that is some of the policies and algorithms that YouTube has. There's no question in my mind that I love YouTube. I love using it. I love watching a lot of YouTube channels. There are several to which I've subscribed, and of course, I make sure that the notifications are turned on so that every time that YouTube channel content creator uploads a video, I find out. Certainly my homegirl, the Ember Honey Raven, whenever she uploads a video, I make sure that I know and that I receive a notification. It's like, okay, let's watch this. So, but I will say that given a lot of the changes with YouTube's policies, I can see why a lot of people, including Ember Honey Raven herself, have been exploring Patreon and moving their content to Patreon, or making it more accessible to the people who subscribe to their Patreon channels. I haven't felt led to do the Patreon thing, but I do know that if I did, I would certainly give perks to my Patreon subscribers. And I really haven't thought about that yet. I haven't really moved in that direction to say, okay, let's do this. I certainly have continued to feel more comfortable with people availing themselves of my psychic services after having watched my YouTube videos, rather than spending the time, the energy, and the money to become a professional YouTube channel content creator. it's a nice idea for somebody else. It's not a nice idea for me. And I've thought about this a lot. I do not have anything against being a professional YouTube channel content creator, but I tend to approach that possibility the same way that I approach returning to work traditional business hours after not having done so since June 2001. And that is, well, if I have to do it, I'll do it. And if I have to survive, I'll do it. That's how I look at becoming a professional YouTube channel content creator. I do not have anything against the people who are. I can honestly say there are several YouTube channel content creators whose videos I enjoy, who are professional YouTubers, and their videos are exciting for me, they're enjoyable for me, they're entertaining for me, and I know that I would continue watching their videos. But for me, it's just like, no, this is not working for me. I want to continue making videos, and I will say it again. I've said it before, and I will happily say it again. As long as, number one, I continue enjoying recording and uploading videos to my YouTube channel, I'll keep doing it. As long as people write comments that are kind, that are thoughtful, that are loving, that are healing, that are genuine, I will keep doing it. As long as people keep sharing my videos on various social media platforms, be it Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, Tumblr, etc., I will keep doing this. I want to continue enjoying having a YouTube channel. I do. I would actually be upset if something happened and I would stop using YouTube. I mean, that really would upset me. And I don't want that. I certainly want to continue having an enjoyable, fun, loving, and uplifting experience using my YouTube channel. And I also know that certain things need to remain in place. And then, of course, I love the fact that there are people who began availing themselves of my psychic services after they saw me on YouTube. I mean, that makes me really happy. I just love that. It's very exciting to me. It's very fulfilling to me. It's very fun for me. I don't know how else to say it. It's like, yeah, this is something that really, I dig it. I really massively dig it. And, you know, I think with all of the social media platforms that I use, but especially YouTube and Instagram, you know, those are the two that I use the most. And it's funny because, you know, one of my favorite people on the planet, who's also one of my favorite performers, is Reverend Yolanda. And I have the honor and pleasure of seeing her perform her Church with a 2-Drink Minimum show at the Sidewalk Cafe on Avenue A in the East Village in Manhattan in New York City. And I remember going to, after we left, we walked around a little bit, and then we went to one of the few metaphysical stores in Manhattan, Om Shanti, which is technically the sister store of Namaste. And, you know, they were in a new location. They were in a larger location. And I was browsing through the tarot decks and the oracle card decks, and I actually saw an oracle card deck that I had on my very first wish list. This was the 2014-2015 wish list. And I was amazed that it was still in print. It has 2 copyrights now. The original copyright of 2000 and the current copyright of 2018. And I was floored. I mean, I remember looking at the box like, oh my God, And I said, oh my God. I didn't say, oh my goddess. So it was, and there were two sets. And that's kind of like, you know, every once in a while I play this sacred game with the universe that it's like, if there isn't one, there's two. And that's something to you know, to explore, to buy, whatever. And the funny thing was, Reverend Yolanda, at one point during her concert, mentioned how she's always been fascinated by volcanoes and she's always loved volcanoes. And on the back of the box of the kit was a card, an image of a card depicting a volcano goddess. And I was just like, you cannot make this shit up, man. You just cannot make this shit up. So I bought the deck. I mean, really, it was the universe was like, come on, Robert, really, you're gonna walk out of here without buying the deck? Seriously? And instinctively, I knew it was one of those decks I needed to buy for myself. You know, it really was, because there are just some decks that I know I could put on a wish list and somebody would probably give it to me, but there are some decks that I need to purchase myself. You know, the Santa Muerte Tarot deck is a perfect example of that. It was like, I knew instinctively, or as I would say to the marrow of my bones, that it was not appropriate for me to put that on a wish list. That it really needed to be a deck that I gave myself, and it needed to be for myself. And the irony is that I did not feel led to use that deck for my exclusive use. I didn't. I don't remember the last time that I gave somebody a reading with that deck, but I definitely feel like, no, it needs to be, I need to use it with clients, and I am, and I will. But I knew instinctively that that was one deck that I needed to give myself. And the funny thing was, not too long after I put this particular Oracle card deck on that particular wish list, it was like, I need to give this to myself. And I knew why. I knew exactly why. And I don't mean to be cryptic. I don't mean to be mysterious. I actually do want to officially review the deck in a future video. But I'm not ready to do that just yet. So my intention is to continue having my YouTube channel and to continue uploading videos and talking about different metaphysical, magical, and mystical topics, as well as topics that are not necessarily metaphysical, magical, and mystical, but that I enjoy very much on my YouTube channel. And also to continue showing videos that honor the different facets of who I am. You know, I definitely, I often say that I am Cuban, and I often refer to my race as Afro-Cuban because my late maternal grandmother's maternal grandmother was a black woman. So there's a part of me that wants to have more videos that talk about that talk about being Afro-Cuban, that talk about being a minority, that talk about the racial challenges that I almost never experience, but do experience from time to time. And I'm also a gay man. And I want to talk more about some of the other things that I experience as a gay man, some of the other things that I do and I enjoy as a gay man. And, you know, there are 2 events that are coming up in August of this year, and I know it's only a matter of time before I do a video about those 2 events. And yes, those videos will have accompanying blog posts, but on my personal LGBTQIA+ WordPress blog, which is called This Gay Man's Life. And I'm long overdue to resume writing content and publishing posts on This Gay Man's Life. So that's something that I'm looking forward to as well. But with regards to this, my YouTube channel, definitely, as long as people continue to subscribe, as long as people continue to write comments that are loving and spiritual and that are kind and that are genuine and that are sincere. And I use the term sincere reluctantly, because sometimes sincerity is not as, I'm not even sure what the right word is. It's not as, for lack of a better term or phrase, valid as authenticity. You know, I love comments that are very spiritually open. I love comments where people ask questions. And it's like, well, how is this for you? And, you know, what do you think about this? I love questions like that. Um, and I love that people actually take the time to share my videos on the various social media platforms they use. I mean, that means a lot to me too. So there's definitely um, there's definitely a lot of enjoyable benefits for me to continue using my YouTube channel and maintaining it. And I definitely want to continue enjoying having a YouTube channel. And I know that certain things need to be in place and continue being in place. But with that being said, I do hope that all of you enjoyed this video. And of course, if you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, the YouTube channel of yours truly, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. And no, there is no fan on because it's a bit chilly outside, but it's not chilly enough that I'm not wearing a tank top. Then I invite you to do so. Please make sure that you click or tap the bell icon so that you receive a notification letting you know that I've uploaded a video. And I do feel divinely guided to recommend that you periodically check to make sure that you are receiving notifications, because unfortunately sometimes YouTube's algorithms or YouTube's whatever will uncheck, unclick, or untap the notifications icon on your behalf. And you don't even know it. You'll be like, I can't believe this bitch hasn't uploaded a video in 6 months. And then you look and it's like, oh, I just didn't know that Robert hasn't uploaded a video in 6 months because he's uploaded 50,000 videos in 6 months. I just didn't know about it because YouTube unchecked this, untapped this, etc. Also, if you have not already scheduled your reading with me, whether it is a reading in person for those of you who live and work in the New York City area, or if you are having the reading or the private metaphysical class or the energy healing treatment by phone or by Skype, I absolutely invite you to do so sooner than later. I have a lot of availability remaining for May, June, and July of 2018. And I have a feeling that especially just before or just after both the Psychic Fair by Notions and Potions at Chill Wine Bar in Beacon, New York on Saturday, May 12th, 2018, not to mention my upcoming Divine Prosperity Simulcast event on Tuesday, May 15th, 2018. My appointments will be less because I'll be less available because my appointments will be higher. So I do recommend scheduling sooner than later, because sometimes the appointment you want is the one you want to keep for yourself. I have a client who, if I ever name names, she'll be massively embarrassed, but she'll be like, I had to learn my lesson the hard way. Anyway, but I won't name names. I'll keep her confidential. I'll keep her identity private and confidential. But in the meantime, I wish you an evening and a wonderful week filled with magic and joy and creativity and fertility and prosperity and love and light and healing and peace.